Yo, how's it going, YouTube? Welcome to the AB channel, also known as the Artist Biographies channel. This is officially our very first video for this channel right here. I hope you guys all enjoy this content or this type of content here. Really just wanted to go ahead and give everybody just a quick little summary as to what this channel is really gonna go ahead and be about. As via the title is basically just gonna be like a nice little quick biography of your favorite artists. A quick biography of your favorite artist is really there's really nothing else to go ahead and kind of say about that. The first artist I wanted to go ahead and start this off with is going to be Tate McRae, just because she is definitely a very she's one of the most rising artists, or is that the correct way of saying that? One of the artists that is definitely rising up as of lately in the given game of the music industry, currently speaking right now. So this channel is really just gonna go ahead and be focused around just giving you guys some quick fun facts about artists, giving you their upbringing, some of their life details and things along those lines. With that being said, though, this is not gonna go ahead and be a channel of negativity or anything along those lines. Like, I'm not gonna be diving into any type of rumors, or I'm not diving into any controversies or anything. This is more so, once again, just kind of just bare bones and bare facts as to hey, this person is from here, this is their name, this is where they came from, this is their music biography and things like that. That's really what we're kind of sticking to in this channel. I'm not gonna go ahead and get into gossiping or anything, just because that's not really me. I don't really look to try to spread around any type of negativity, especially with people I really do not know personally at all. So that's really going to go ahead and be the premises of this particular channel here. I hope you guys all enjoy this type of content. Just wanted to go ahead and give a quick little brief summary as to what it is that we're going to go ahead and be doing here in this type of channel. And I hope you guys enjoy it overall. This is our first one of hopefully many more to come. I'm terrible at intros. I know that this has been running a lot longer than what it needs to be. But without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get to our first video. And our first artist that we're going to be covering is none other than Tate McRae. Bio. Artist name and legal name: Tate McRae, also known as T8 or Tate Rosner McRae. Parents: Todd McRae and Tanya Rosner. Siblings: Tucker McRae. Birthday: July 1st, 2003. Current age: 22 years old, which will put her at Gen Z. Height: 5'8". Hometown: Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Current residence: she bought a home in Manhattan, New York to further her career. Ethnicity: Tate is both Scottish and German. Her father, Todd McRae, has Scottish roots, and her mother, Tanya Rosner, is German. Race: white. Early childhood. As mentioned, Tate was born on July 1st, 2003 in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. As a young child, she and her family moved from Calgary to Oman due to her father's work. Tate's father, Todd McRae, was a lawyer for an oil and gasoline company. Making that oil money, baby. While they lived there, Tate began learning how to dance, especially since her mother, Tanya, was a dance instructor. She attended the American International School, Muscat, or TASM, if you will, which is a non-profit, co-education, American Curriculum International School in Muscat, Oman, and serves students from early childhood to high school. I just know that there have to be Tate McRae fans attending that school right now, just straight geeking to the fact that oh my God, Tate McRae attended our school. She was here first than us. In her early years of life, she was just dancing recreationally. Tate and her family ended up moving back to Calgary. This was most likely due to her father's work, yet again. Upon her return, Tate really doubled down on her passion for dancing and even started competing with Drewitt's Dance Production. I am so sorry if I mispronounced that. Which is a dance school in Calgary, Alberta. As she progressed, she began to learn multiple styles of dancing: ballet, contemporary, jazz, which I didn't even know jazz had a specific dance pattern, but the more you know, I guess. Hip hop, musical theater, lyrical, not even the slightest clue what that would even look like, if I'm being honest with you. And tap dancing. Needless to say, Tate can dance circles around basically anybody you probably know. She continued to learn dance through YYC Dance Project, a dance company co-founded by her mother Tanya and Tanya's friend and fellow dance educator Laura Van Belleghem. Her mother's company is also in partnership with Alberta Ballet School. Tate attended Western Canada High School, go Red Hawks, and graduated online in 2021. Which has me sitting here reminding me, like, damn, I graduated high school back in 2015. Heck, I actually graduated college back in 2019. Just a few years before she even finished high school. Damn. Don't mind me, I'm just sitting here reminiscing. So before we dive into what I know we are all waiting for, which is Tate's music career, we have to dive deeper into her dancing career. Dance is an essential part of Tate's art form. Tate was awarded many Best Female Dancer at the 2013 Dance Awards in NYC. She became a finalist at the NYC Dance Alliance 2014 National Gala, and on top of that, from 2013 to 2015, she voiced Spot Splatter Splash for the La La Loopsy franchise, which I had no idea even existed at all, for a matter of fact. But then again, at that given time around my particular life, that was when I was really like into anime, and I didn't really watch anything else besides anime, like no reality shows, no other type of things, no nothing, as this anime basically ran my life in those given years right there. But while I was doing my research, actually, just to kind of go ahead and quote from here, from my script, because yes, I have a script, I'm easing into this right here, but going back into my research that I was making for this, I did find a YouTube short of Tate actually replying to a fan that brought up the whole La La Loopsy thing, and she mentioned in the short, because it was a YouTube short, if I find it, I'll go ahead and I'll add it onto the video if possible.
Would you ever get back into acting? I've loved you ever since La La Loopsy, guys. I did voiceovers when I was 7 years old.
Isn't she magnificent?
Mm-hmm. I was a booked and blessed voice actor. I did like 4 seasons of this show, and I played like 4 characters, but I'm not an actor. I'm not sure. La La Loopsy was a time. I love acting and wish I was good at it. Maybe one day I'll get into acting lessons. Damn, true fan, seen me since La La Loopsy.
But she said that she voiced this character around the age of 7, which wouldn't really add up with the timeline, to be honest, because, you know, if she was born in 2003, and she said that she voiced this character when she was 7, which would technically put the year around 2010, not 2013, but, you know, then again, due to like editing and production and all that other jazz, you know, it could be that the show didn't really air until like a later point in time. So point is, she was also a voice actor for a while. So the more you go ahead and know, that just really adds to her different arsenal of skills. Talking about skills, Tate won the silver medal as a soloist and the bronze medal for her duet at the 2015 Youth American Grand Prix. She also danced in the music video for Wall of the Earth's platinum certified single, Rule the World, which, by the way, is part of this video. Incredible. I listened to this song actually for the very first time while recording and doing my research for this video, and man, just the music back in the 2010s, bro, like there was something about it that just captivated you. And just once again, this is the first time I listened to this particular song, but it has that 2010 sound to it, and it just had that ability to just bring me and snap me right back to like the early 2010s, which is something that's crazy. This is why I love music so much, because music just has a way of bringing you back and bringing so many memories that you probably thought like, oh, I don't remember that, like I lost those memories. But you listen to the right track and to the right beat, and it just suddenly snaps you right back on there. So that's definitely what I felt when I heard this track right here. But no, enough of that. We're gonna go ahead and get back to the main subject now. Tate, for the second time, was awarded the Best Female Dancer award at the 2015 Dance Award, this time in the junior category. In June 2016, she performed at Justin Bieber's concert in Calgary for his Purpose World Tour during JB's performance of Children. Here's a YouTube short of it. Tate performed on The Ellen DeGeneres Show as part of the Dancerpalooza troupe around April of 2016. In June 2016, she participated in the 13th season of the American television show So You Think You Can Dance. During the show, she was mentored by actress Catherine McCormick. She played Emily in the movie Step Up Revolution, which I may not necessarily know a lot when it comes to dancing, because I definitely cannot dance myself, or at least I'm not. All right, hold up. Let me give myself a little bit of props. Like, I've been learning how to dance, more so like Hispanic dancing, like bachata and things like that. For anybody that is part of my family that's watching this, yes, I do know how to dance. I'm not going to take no for an answer. But, you know, I haven't been known to be the greatest dancer. Do I know a lot about dancing? Absolutely not. I'm never going to claim that I do. But when watching the Step Up series, my personal opinion, Moose has got to be the best dancer out of the series. I legit lost my mind when that last movie, when he came in at the very end. Hands down the best. But hey, you guys let me know in the comment section, who do you guys prefer in the Step Up series? Tate advanced the furthest in the competition than any other Canadian in the history of the show and ended up placing third in the final episode, which just goes to show just how talented this young lady is. Quick side note, but a Canadian TV host by the name of Mertz Jafar, or Jafar, I could be completely butchering that, from Toronto Sun, which is a newspaper published daily in Toronto, who has actually interviewed Tate several times throughout her career, has mentioned something along the lines, even though Canadians could not vote for Tate during the time on So You Think You Can Dance, and she placed third, making her finish more impressive. And a direct quote coming from this news reporter is that while she may not have been voted America's favorite dancer, she certainly might be Canada's. So she really got her country's support just like that. Also in 2016, she performed in the Teen Choice Awards as a finalist from the So You Think You Can Dance cast. She performed again at the Ellen DeGeneres Show in October 2016 as part of the Jump Dance Convention troupe. Needless to say, our girl Tate had one heck of a year in 2016. Tate was also featured on the cover of Dance Spirit magazine, which is an American trade publication for dance, in April 2017. She was also featured in a Pas de Deux, which, if you're like me, you don't know what the heck that is, but don't worry, I got you. So this is a dance duet, which typically is done by a male and a female dancer performing ballet steps together. In Alberta Ballet Company's production, Art Canada, choreographed by Jean Grand Maitre in May 2017. In November 2017, after she performed a dance to Demi Lovato's song Tell Me You Love Me, good song by the way, she was invited by Demi Lovato to rehearse with their dancers for the performance at the American Music Awards. Which, I know that some people feel some type of way when it comes to Demi Lovato, but as I was growing up, she was definitely up there in the pop artist scene of the late 2000s and early 2010s. And with this timeline being taken into consideration, that would put Tate around, 13, maybe 14 years old. That in itself is a great achievement, if you ask me. For someone so young, once again, that basically just speaks to how talented and disciplined Tate is when it comes to her dancing craft and things like that. So, For the third time, she won Best Female Dancer at the 2018 Dance Awards in Las Vegas, this time in the teen category, which made her the first dancer in the competition's history to win in all categories from mini to teen. Tate choreographed and danced in the music video for the song Just Say When by American rock band Nothing More in April 2018. The music. Now, for what I know, most of you are here for. We will now get into Tate's music career. Dating back to 2011, Tate had a YouTube channel, which naturally had a lot of content focused on dancing. Then, later in 2017, she began a series titled Create with Tate. It is a series where she showcases her own original songs. The very first song she released is titled One Day. And oh boy, did it attract attention. It received over 40 million views and was made a debut single. By the way, at the time of recording this single on YouTube currently is sitting around 41 million views. If you're not a hardcore Tate fan and you're just learning about Tate Mcrae for the very first time, basically kind of like how I am at the time of making this video, because I didn't really know a lot about Tate either, I would highly recommend going and checking out this video out. I don't know, there's just a lot of innocence when it comes to this particular song. Obviously, this is when Tate is just starting off, so she's obviously in her early teen years and things along those lines, but you could just tell the innocence that comes behind that particular age with this particular song, and just the way that she sings it and her voice and everything, if you take all of that into consideration, which I felt was really nice. It's a pretty straightforward song, but extremely relatable to most young adults at that given or I should say young teens, not young adults, young teens, and how they feel around that given, age range. One Day eventually made certified gold in Canada, marking it as her first certification. She continued to work on her music from 2017 to 2019, uploading and releasing independent singles, and this led to her being named YouTube's Artist on the Rise. This led to her gaining the attention of different record labels. In March 2019, she released another standalone single titled Kids Are Alright. Now obviously in this track, this is a few years down the line from compared to One Day, but you can definitely notice that her pacing and then her style and the way that she's singing this one compared to One Day has definitely developed a lot more, so you can tell that she's developing her craft more and more as she's going through the years and producing her own music or releasing her own music and things along those lines. But you can just go ahead and hear that development just keep going and going and going. In August of 2019, Tate signed with RCA Records, an American record label owned by Sony Music Entertainment. Some honorable mentions of artists that are either signed or were signed to this label are Alicia Keys, the Backstreet Boys, Chris Brown, and G-Eazy. When signed by the label, Tate released singles like Tear Myself Apart, All My Friends Are Fake, and Stupid. Tate released her debut EP, All the Things I Never Said, on January 24th, 2020, and announced her All the Things I Never Said tour, headlining Europe and North America. Every tour location was sold out. Which, by the way, quick side note, I know I'm sorry to keep interrupting and cutting into the video, but if you don't know the difference between an EP and an LP, don't worry, you're not alone, because even me, the music fan himself, that I've been a music fan for many, many years, never took the time to actually go ahead and research what the heck is the difference between an EP and an LP. So I always ask myself that question. I was just too lazy to go ahead and research it, but naturally, since I was doing the research for this, I was like, let me take the time to do it now. But basically, an EP means extended play, or that's what it stands for. EP stands for extended play, which typically contains around 3 to 6 songs on that particular project, and it should equate to 30 minutes or less, and that will technically classify that project as an EP. An LP stands for long play, or in other words an album, which usually contains 7 or more songs, and it is longer than 30 minutes. So if you were wondering what is the difference between an EP and an LP, and if you learn one thing or take away one thing from this video, hopefully is that. So you're welcome. Moving on. In April of 2020, Tate released the single You Broke Me First, which basically became the single for her second EP. This single was an international success, peaking at the top 10 charts of several different countries, such as Australia, the Netherlands, and the United Kingdom. This single also became her first to chart on the Billboard Hot 100 in the United States. It was also the longest charting song released by a female artist in 2020 on the Billboard Hot 100, with 38 weeks recorded. It peaked at number 1 on the Mediabase Top 40 chart. Mediabase is a music industry service that monitors radio station airplay in the United States and Canada, which also broke the record for the longest climb to number 1 by a female solo artist at 28 weeks. Tate performed You Broke Me First on Jimmy Kimmel Live and on The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon. Towards the end of 2020, the success of You Broke Me First led Tate to sign a worldwide publishing deal with Sony/ATV. Some other singles she dropped throughout 2020 would be Vicious featuring Lil Mosey in June, which at the time of recording this video, I checked my Apple Music and I actually don't have a single track by this Lil Mosey person. Lil Mosey? Don't know how you pronounce it, but I'm just gonna go with Lil Mosey. Never heard a single track. You guys let me know if I should go ahead and check them out. You guys let me know if I should even, try to make a biography video on this person as well. If you guys want it, I'll do it. Don't Be Sad in August, Lie to Me featuring Canadian singer Ali Gady in October. First and foremost, shout out to my birthday month, best month out of the year. Yes, I'm being completely biased. I don't care. And secondly, I actually do have one song by Ali Gady, which is the song It's You. Really, really nice song. I really love this. Really love that song. He definitely has a great singing voice. But I'll most likely go ahead and jump back into listening to more of his projects and more of his albums and things like that once I go ahead and try to see who I want to go ahead and make a video on next. I already have a pretty much of a general idea as to what the next video is going to be, but I'll probably go back and visit some of his work again. Now, on a complete side note, why does brother look like he could be related to Russ? Like he could be like Russ's like distant cousin or something. Like, is that just me or am I just reaching with that? But never mind, back to the context. And lastly, Are You Okay in December. Shout out to my lady's birth month. In September, Tate was nominated for the MTV Video Music Awards for Push Best New Artist and also performed You Broke Me First at the VMA's pre-show. That same month, she was also featured on the cover of Dark Magazine, a UK-based music publication that is both in print and online. Tate was named YouTube's Artist on the Rise, MTV's Push Artist for July, and a Vivo Discover Artist. She was also featured on Billboard's 21 Under 21 to Watch list and named by Pandora, The Independent, NME, Amazon Music, and Uproxx as an artist to watch out for in 2021. In the month of December 2020, Tate was the youngest person listed in the Forbes 30 Under 30 in the music category. She was named on Rolling Stone's Top 10 Biggest Breakthrough Artists of 2020 and also featured on TikTok's The Come Up Emerging Artists list, which I had no idea even existed. But then again, I'm not a big fan of TikTok. I'm really not, so it makes sense that I didn't even know it. As we can see, Tate's rise to mainstream popularity happened during an early implementation of COVID-19 restrictions. David Friend, a music reporter at the Canadian Press, called her, and I quote, a bona fide star of the lockdown, end quote. With that in mind, a lot of her performances on late night and award shows are often done in isolation and in studios, including the virtual edition of MTV's European Music Awards. Tate mentioned that this sometimes disassociated her from the fame she was receiving and experiencing due to the isolation. Relationships. John Hatter, a fellow Canadian cinematographer from 2019 to 2021. Cole Sillinger, an ice hockey player from 2021 to 2023. The Kid Laroi, a fellow musician from 2024 to July 2025. Fun facts. Tate's least favorite color is orange. One of Tate's biggest role models is Zendaya. She really likes Dua Lipa. Drake has mentioned Tate in one of his songs, specifically in his song Small Town Fame. Endorsements. Essential Water, May 2021, brand endorsement and brand ambassador. which means that you are acting as an official representative for a company, promoting its products or services and embodying its values to increase brand awareness, build trust, and ultimately drive sales. Adidas, August 2024, brand endorsement. Neutrogena, February 2025, brand ambassador. Spotify Equal, November 2023, an initiative aimed at promoting gender equality in music. Skims, Tate was featured in Skims' Holiday Shop campaign. Capezio, before her music career took off, she was a brand ambassador for American dance shoes manufacturer Capezio. Now we're going to dive into her LPs, or her albums, if you will. Albums. I Used to Think I Could Fly. Release date, May 27th, 2022. Total tracks, 13. Total duration, 37 minutes. Album sales first week, estimated 66,000 copies sold. At the time, this was not being tracked. Streams on Spotify first week, 35.2 million streams. Streams on Apple Music first week. So apparently Apple actually doesn't release this information to its consumers. It only releases this information to their to the artists themselves, which, fun fact, I guess. Current stream count on Spotify. As of October 1st, 2025, it currently sits at 1,491,690,479 streams on Spotify. Main singles. Feel Like Shit, released November 2021. She's All I Wanna Be, released February 2022. This song did very well commercially and reached the top 10 in Canada, Ireland, Norway, Singapore, and Belgium. It also charted in the top 40 in several countries. It charted at number 52 in the United States. Chaotic, released March 2022. What Would You Do, released May 2022. Please look at the screen to see any awards/nominations that Tate had for this album. Tours, the Are We Flying Tour, 2022 through 2023. Summary of album and personal opinions. So for this section of the video, once again, this is not a breakdown type of channel or anything along those lines. I do like to go ahead and break down music, don't get me wrong. It's definitely one of my biggest passions. I just kind of do it as a hobby, but you know, for the sake of time, I'm not trying to take up all of your time sitting down and basically breaking down every single track. I did listen to every single track of every single album. I also went ahead and viewed all of the music videos for like the main singles and things along those lines for the albums as well. So I'm just gonna go ahead and give like my quick thoughts of every track. Nothing too long, hopefully, because I do tend to ramble from time to time, as I'm doing now. But once again, yeah, I'm not breaking down any of the songs or anything, just giving you my quick thoughts of every single track as I listen to them. That's really all this is. If you guys would like to go ahead and eventually hear me break down songs and things along those lines, I will take that into consideration for like future projects, but as of right now, we're just gonna stick to this. So just wanted to give that quick disclaimer. Track 1, question mark. Just a short intro, but really relatable. Really speaks to how when we're young, we used to go ahead and have a lot more imagination and less fear. Track 2, Don't Come Back. Your typical breakup song. You left me and one day you'll realize what you had, and just like the title says, don't come back. Track 3, I'm So Gone. Basically a continuation of the previous track, if you think about it. And it really gives off that concept of Drake's song, How About Now? If you've never heard that song, first and foremost, if you've never heard Drake's How About Now, you're definitely living under a rock. Also, that line that she says, never left your dad's basement, now you're mad because I made it. Dang, that gotta sting, brother. Whoever she talking about, I hope Brody made it out the basement. Track 4, What Would You Do? So at this given point, I'm just gonna go ahead and assume that these tracks are all going to be like, oh, breakup tracks, or you didn't appreciate me while we were together tracks. So, you know, you get what you deserve type of things. I will say that the line in this particular track where she says, "I'll go out and kiss your friends," is wicked, bro. that is a wicked line. But she also does go ahead and say, if I gave back all the pain that you put me through, which then leads me to assume that, homeboy probably did something to deserve this, or he probably did something like that first, and that is why that get back is a as they say, you know what I mean. Track 5, Chaotic. Okay, hands down my favorite song off the album so far. I really like the vibe that she went with for this one. It kind of gives off like she's talking to a therapist or even talking to herself throughout the whole entire track. I really like this track just because it's extremely relatable. When she says nobody said changing could be this exhausting, brother, you could feel that. Like as you go ahead in your adulting, like, trust me, it gets very, very exhausting at a given point. So that is a very, very relatable line. Definitely added this song to the music library. Track 6, Hate Myself. This track is a good reflection song, if I say so. Not just focusing on the other individuals so much that may have cost you all of that given pain, but also being realistic and realizing that you have bad tendencies as well and characteristics as well. It's definitely a deep song for sure. The part where she says, you couldn't hate me more than I hate myself, definitely very impactful word choice there. Track 7, What's Your Problem? When it comes to this song was pretty straightforward, yet very meaningful at the exact same time. Really like her vocals on this particular track. This track is very relatable to some people, no matter if you're the guy or the girl in the given relationship. You can definitely place yourself in the shoes of the perspective that Tate is singing from. Track 8, She's All I Wanna Be. Alright, so I really like the rock and roll beat that she used for this song. So that was definitely a big plus because I love me some rock. But this song is low-key incredibly sad if you really go ahead and you think about it. It's definitely a struggle with self-identity and wanting to be someone else so bad just because the person you like or you're into is into another person's looks or what they have. And you want to be with that person so bad that you're willing to go ahead and sacrifice who you are to become the person that they're admiring. Which, if you're in a relationship and your significant other is over here, to use the slang that the kids would use nowadays, glazing another person all at the same time, and that the person that at that given exact same time, that person looks nothing like you whatsoever, I would be giving them the meanest side eye ever. Like, maybe you should be away from that person at that given point. If somebody's really talking their ear off about another person and how much they admire them and they have nothing to do with you, or like they don't look like you whatsoever, behave like you and whatsoever, nothing at all, it's like, yeah, just me personally, I would be like, throw in the Vince McMahon meme. Track 9, Boy X. So another breakup song. I do really like the storytelling of this one compared to the other ones in this album so far. And I really like the way that she ended it as well with the line, "There's a billion of Boy X, but babe, there's only one me." This track really highlights innocence and being broken and basically being stripped away. Track 10, You're So Cool. Honestly, don't really have much to say about this track. I guess you can say it was cool. No? Alright. The beat was nice though. Track 11, Feel Like Shit. Thought I was over you, but not really. Basically the premise of the song. Track 12, Go Away. I like the chorus and the juxtaposition, got that one right, of the title of this song. In the chorus, she keeps saying, "You never go away," and she also ends with, "Please just don't forget me," which usually, if you're saying these type of things, you're saying that to somebody you care for and that you really want to go ahead and, be close to and have them with you. Yet, if you look at the title, the song title is just Go Away. If you're looking at it just standing by itself or standing alone, basically that's what you will go ahead and you will say to somebody that you don't want to have next to you, or that you may not necessarily care for. Go away, leave me alone, I don't need to be next to you, I don't want to talk to you, and things like that. So I like that juxtaposition there, that if you just read the title on its own, you're like, okay, well, this must be insinuating that you don't even want to be next to this person. Yet if you listen to the song, it's kind of like the opposite, like, no, I want you to be next to me. So I like this track. Track 13, I Still Say Goodnight. Hands down my second favorite track off this album. The raw emotion, the melody in the background, great song. Definitely added to the music library as well. Overall, I think this is definitely a great debut album. As I was listening to the album, I was going to sum it up as basically just being a late teen drama pop music, basically. It's kind of what I was notching it up to. But as I kept listening to the album, there are definitely a lot of songs and certain lines that will resonate, not just with young adults, but obviously with older adults and grown adults as well. Naturally, it does sound very early pop, and some of the tracks are very melodic, which I'm personally a fan of myself. And also the dancing choreography in her music videos for the album were all amazing, which, let's be honest, it's Tate Mcrae. Of course, the dancing is going to be on point. The best dance choreography definitely has to be for the song Feel Like Shit. However, my personal favorite, just because of the way that it was shot, just because I'm really into camera angles and things along those lines, I would definitely say would be for me is Don't Come Back, just because once again I like the way that it was shot overall. Overall, since this is her debut album, I will go ahead and give this album a 7.5 out of 10. Now, that is just my personal opinion. Please do not come for me already. That's just my personal opinion. I'm not that into pop music per se, so that's probably why I didn't rank it higher. It's not to say that it's a bad album or anything. I definitely feel like it's a great album. It's a great debut album overall. I just personally wouldn't rank it higher because I don't really listen to pop like that. And all in all, I only added about 2 out of the 13 tracks. But once again, that's just a personal preference. Now, you guys let me know what your favorite tracks are for this album in the comment section, or if this was your favorite album of all times when it comes to Tate. Think Later. Release date, December 8th, 2023. Total tracks, 14. Total duration, 38 minutes. Album sales first week, 66,000 album equivalent units. Streams on Spotify first week, 115.79 million. Current stream count on Spotify, over 3.5 billion as of late 2025. Main singles: Greedy, released on September 15th, 2023. This became her biggest debut on Spotify to date, as well as her first top 10 on the global Spotify charts. This song also peaked at the top 10 of the Canadian Hot 100 and debuted at the top of the charts in Denmark and Norway. It also topped the charts in several other countries, including Australia and the Netherlands. This was her first official #1 single worldwide. Exes, released November 2023. Also peaked top 10 in Canada. Please look at the screen to see any awards/nominations that Tate had for this album. Tours: The Think Later World Tour. Summary of album and personal opinions. Track 1, Cut My Hair. Bad Girl Tate era has been unlocked. Track 2, Greedy. Alright, so we're really well into the video now to go ahead and mention that my girlfriend is a really big Tate Mcrae fan. Greedy is definitely one of the first songs, if not the first song I've ever listened to by Tate Mcrae, because my lady was the one that introduced me to it. She was like, you have to listen to this track. So she played it for me, and I really liked it. But I've never really sat down to actually listen to it and read the lyrics or anything. I kind of just always played it and that's it. I would say I really like the way that the song sounds, like the production of it and the beat and everything. I would just listen to it just for that, obviously. That's why I hadn't really looked into the lyrics or anything along those lines. But As I was listening to this track, it really gives off that like I'm feeling myself energy, which I mean, coming off her previous album, why should she not be feeling herself? You know what I mean? Like, definitely go all out, girl. Track 3, Run for the Hills, another toxic relationship kind of track. Track 4, Hurt My Feelings. So based on the line that she says, she wears your number line, I'm going to assume that this track has to be done or has to do with the hockey player that Tate used to go ahead and date. But basically in this track, it goes from, it's pretty much like, well, I know you have her now, but I know you still want me. And I want you too, even though I know it's wrong and you're going to go back to her anyway, but I want you so bad that I don't care if you basically hurt my feelings. So that's basically what I got from this particular track. That's the whole story. Track 5, Grave. This track was alright, to be honest with you. Honestly, wasn't a big fan of the beat in the background. I did enjoy the message overall. One person in the relationship is too prideful, while the other one tries their best to make something work that really isn't going to work out at all in the end. And they know it, basically. I say one person in the relationship because this basically goes both ways. Obviously, Tate is a girl singing about a guy, but this could honestly apply to both sides. It could be either on the guy or it could be on the girl as well. So, track 6, Stay Done. Now, this track, I liked. I love the beat. I love the vocals on it as well. Very melodic. The concept of the song really reminds me of Eminem's and Rihanna's Love the Way You Lie, which hands down has got to be one of the greatest songs in history. You can debate that all you want, but it has to be like one of the greatest songs ever. And that's really what it really reminds me of. Track 7, Exes. Definitely a catchy track. Kind of hard not to sing along with it if you know the words to it. The line that she says, change my mind up like it's origami. Nice little bar, Tate. I see you, girl. I see you. Track 8, We're Not Alike. Basically a song about betrayal. That one friend who always tells you, oh, I will never hurt you, I'm always gonna be there for you, and then one day they show you their true colors, and as Tate says in the song, held the knife. That shit hurts, but what can I tell you, that's just life. Track 9, Calgary. My favorite track out of this album so far. I love the beat, I love the overall emotion of it. Even though it's basically Tate reflecting about herself and her hometown, a lot of the lyrics are definitely very, very relatable when it comes to this song right here, which is why I liked it so much. Definitely add it to the music library for sure, and please stay away from pills, kids. Track 10, Messier. Basically a track about a very messy relationship. One line from this track that will basically summarize it all would basically be the line where she says, not sure if my mom would call this love. Track 11, Think Later. Yes. The track that the album is named after. So basically, the way that I summarize this track, or the way that I really thought about it, this track really screams out to me. Like whenever you go out to the bar and you tell yourself like, you know what, I'm just going out for a couple of drinks. I don't want to go ahead and spend X amount of money. I'm not going to get too drunk today or something. And then you're a couple drinks down and you start thinking to yourself, you know what? I'm going to just go ahead and pay for everybody's tab today. Or you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and pay around for people that you don't even really know. Like you just become friends with that one night. You become friends with like a group of other guys or a group of other girls and you're like, you know what, drinks are on me today, guys, even though you told yourself earlier, yeah, I'm only going out for like 1 or 2 drinks, I'm only spending like $50 today. And then you walk out or you look at your phone the next morning like, how much did I spend again? And you don't like the number that you see. So it's kind of like that mentality. Once you finally reach it, like, you know what, I'm just gonna think about it later. Like, I'm gonna live now, appreciate life now. As Drake would say, YOLO, you only live once. And then when you kind of go ahead and you get back to being sober-minded, or you kind of just start reflecting again and you're like, you know what, I probably shouldn't have done that. So it's kind of like the general premise that I got from this song. Track 12, Guilty Conscience. No Eminem. really catchy chorus. Keeping up with the toxic relationship vibe of the overall album. Track 13, Want That Too. This is definitely my second favorite track off of this album. The vibe of this song really reminds me of some NF songs that I really like. If you've never heard of NF, or if you've never heard a track by NF, I highly recommend that you go ahead and give him a listen. I will say he's not everybody's cup of tea, but definitely one of my greatest, or one of my favorite rappers. I was gonna say actors for some particular reason. One of my favorite rappers of all time, for sure. But this track is a good, basically, recognition of being taken advantage of by someone and realizing that you're just better off without them in your life. As much as they may want to go ahead and control you by telling you things like, oh, you're never gonna find anybody like me, nobody's gonna go ahead and love you the way I love you, and all that BS. Is basically just realizing you don't need that negativity or that person being brought back into your life. So that's why I really like this song right here. So definitely added this one as well into the music library. Track 14, Plastic Palm Trees. So this is definitely a great track to go ahead and close the album out with. I love the metaphor behind the title and the premises of the song, which is basically the line of staring at plastic palm trees. You know, to some people, or at least to me, because, you know, I come from a Caribbean island, I live in Florida, and everything is pretty I guess you could say floral around here, or there's definitely a lot of summer vibes here, but we got a lot of palm trees. And, you know, when you think of palm trees, you think about relaxation, vacation, maybe even peace, if you will. However, the whole premise of this song is the fact that it's called Plastic Palm Trees, because at the end of the day, something that's plastic is fake. As pretty as it may seem, and it gives you that illusion like this is what it's supposed to be, at the end of the day, if it's plastic, it's fake. So it's basically fake love, or that person that you claim that loves you, or they claim they love you, is ultimately being fake. So my overall thoughts when it comes to this album compared to her debut album, you can definitely tell that Tate is really settling into creating music. Her vocals, in my personal opinion, are definitely a lot more polished in this particular album. The production of the videos is also better on this album. Overall, the main theme that I got from this album was the struggles of being in a toxic relationship and not being appreciated enough. Not just from your partner, but also basically not appreciating yourself and staying in a relationship, or wanting to still be in a relationship with somebody that doesn't necessarily deserve you. I believe that Tate had just broken up with Cole Sillinger around the given time of this album right here. So I'm going to assume that a lot of the songs of this album are feelings that she basically had about that particular relationship. But at the end of the day, that's the beauty of music, right? The majority of this is all subjective. At the end of the day, a song can mean something completely different to me than what it means to you, than what it means even to the artist themselves, which is why I love music so much. You know, you can basically go ahead and take a song and be like, well, this means to me, or I think of this person whenever I listen to the song. And I could listen to the exact same song and be like, well, you know, I think about a completely different person, or I feel a completely different way, even though basically we're listening to the same thing, right? So that's definitely the biggest beauty I find myself in music. I would go ahead and give this album a 7.8 out of 10. Once again, please don't come after me. A better improvement for sure. I ended up adding 4 songs out of this listen through. Actually 3, because I technically already had Greedy on my music library. But yeah, that's what I will go ahead and give this one. Definitely an improvement from the last one. And on to the next album. You already know. Let me know in the comment section what your favorite tracks off this album, and if this is your favorite Tate album overall. So Close to What? Release date February 21st, 2025. Total tracks 16. Total duration 46 minutes. Album sales first week 71,000 pure album sales. Streams on Spotify first week 137.3 million. Current streams count on Spotify over 2 billion as of August 2025. Main singles: It's Okay, I'm Okay, released September 2024, charted in several countries and became her highest charting debut on the Billboard Hot 100 at number 20. Two Hands, released in November 2024, peaked at number 41 on the Hot 100 and number 22 in Canada. Sports Car, released January 24th, 2025. This song peaked at number 9 on the Canadian Hot 100 and also peaked within the top 10 on the charts of Australia, Ireland, New Zealand, and the UK. Please look at the screen to see any awards/nominations that Tate had for this album. Tours: the Miss Possessive Tour, which started on March 18th, 2025, and was her first arena tour. Summary of album and personal opinions. Track 1, Miss Possessive. Alright, so I've heard several tracks off this album before making this particular video. This body of work is of this album is really my introduction overall to Tate McCrae, because at that given point, that's when my lady, my girlfriend, had already really gotten me like into, or trying to get me into Tate McCrae. So she definitely showed me a lot of the tracks off this album right here. But once again, I hadn't actually taken the time to really sit down and listen and like read lyrics or anything along those lines. This is definitely one of my favorite tracks off this album. It's just so catchy, because you can definitely just go ahead and sing the majority of this track if you know the words to it, which leads me into my next line, which is me and my lady would like assume that like we knew the lyrics without like reading through them, so we would go ahead and sing something. For example, when she says just keep your eyes off him, we thought she said just keep your hands off him. So the whole entire time we kept singing just keep your hands off him, but in reality she's saying just keep your eyes off him, which I guess still conveys overall the same meaning. But you know, basically that was our biggest downfall to this song. We were all over here making our own little lyrics ourselves. Track 2, Revolving Door. The vocals in this song are definitely phenomenal. I like the concept of the revolving door, and in the chorus when she says, but I keep coming back like a revolving door, which is definitely true. A revolving door goes around in a circle, obviously, meaning that you can go ahead and end up right back where you basically started, right? You enter the revolving door, and if you keep going in a full 360, basically you'll end up right where you just started at. But there's obviously two sides to a revolving door. You can either go ahead and use the revolving door to get to the other side of where you first started at, or you can go ahead and ultimately end up right back where you started from, which is basically, I guess, the whole entire concept of this song. So I added this one to the music library. I hadn't added it just yet, but after listening to it and breaking it down a little bit, I was like, yeah, you know what, let me add it. Track 3, Blood on My Hands, featuring Flo Milli. This song was alright. That's all I got for this one. Track 4, Dear God. Not being over your ex so bad that you legit pray to God to get them out of your mind. Track 5, Purple Lace Bra. Now this right here is a great song, explaining basically how some people just go ahead and see what's on the outside and not on the inside. All the sexual references are basically really just explaining how the other person just likes the physical connection that they have with the person, but wants nothing to do with or is interested in whatsoever in the emotional connection that they truly in order to basically truly get to go ahead and know you. So it's kind of like that, you know, the saying when people kind of like make fun of you whenever somebody says like, oh, you know, I love them for what's in the inside, not on the outside. And people are like, oh yeah, sure, whatever, you're just making up a bunch of lies. But in reality, yeah, you know, you don't just want to fall in love with the physical and what's on the outside, but it's very important, at least for a healthy relationship, in my personal opinion, is for you to also fall in love with who that person is in the inside as well. So overall, great song. Track 6, Sports Car. I think we all know what this song is, but hey, it's a banger. Add it to the music library. Track 7, Signs. All right, so this message is gonna go out to my gentlemen that just started dating, or heck, even for the men that still don't get it to this day. This song is like Women 101. Listen to the song, pull up the lyrics so that you can start understanding Your Lady Signs. Track 8, I Know Love, featuring the Kid Laroi. Do y'all know what love is? Let me know in the comment section. Track 9, Like I Do. So this song is basically a shout out to all the fake ass friends that lie to your face, telling you they love you, telling you they want the best for you, but in reality, they're just jealous of you and who you are and what you have. This song is basically like a pop, more toned down version of Joyner Lucas's Broski track. Now, if you never heard that song before and you're into rap and you like this particular song, I would 10 out of 10 recommend listening to the Broski track as well. But that's basically what I got from this one. Track 10, It's Okay, I'm Okay. Keep That Hoe. Track 11, No, I'm Not in Love. So this song reminds me of those best friends in the friend group that are always together and basically are like a bundle package. So like wherever one goes, the other one is usually always with them. Everyone knows they like each other, but one of them is always in denial, hitting the, what? Me go out with them? Nah, no way. Or me go out with her? Nah, there's no way. I'm not into them like that, bro. Or I'm not into him like that. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, sometimes they are just truly just friends, and they don't really, they don't really like each other like that. But 8 times out of 10, you know what I mean? Track 12, Means I Care. So before I go ahead and get into how I feel about this track, first and foremost, I want everybody to know that I'm not trying to have anybody feel bad or anything, but women who have this mentality of this song used to piss me off when I was single, not gonna lie to you. Granted, there is a deeper meaning as to why some women act the way this song is expressing, and I fully recognize it. And to you ladies out there that really relate to this song, really, on no funny shit or not trying to be offensive or anything, but definitely those are things that you need to work on, and reach out to the necessary help that you may need to go ahead and reach out to in order to get those feelings out and kind of express them more and kind of work through them. I'm pretty sure there are a lot of good men out there who would love to have you in their lives, and I'm sure that you would like to have them in your life as well, but unfortunately, due to certain circumstances, that gets passed up on. Track 13, Green Light. So this track right here is basically a continuation of the message of the previous song. It's basically an explanation as to the behavior that some people develop from the previous track, Means I Care. I do like the fact that the two songs are basically a question and an answer in one shape or form. Track 14, Two Hands. Gentlemen, go and put your hands around your lady's waist and let them know how much you love them. Track 15, Siren Sounds. And we're back to the I'm Stuck in a Toxic Relationship tracks. Ain't gonna lie though, the chorus is very, very catchy. Track 16, Nostalgia. Hands down the most real and best track off this album. I legit got goosebumps when I was listening to it. I don't even know what words to use to basically say, like, it's just what a way to go ahead and close out an album. Definitely great track, and I added this one to the music library for sure. So when it comes to my overall thoughts for this last album, would be that the production of this album was definitely very, very dope. I really like the music video for Two Hands, and overall, you can just go ahead and tell that Tate is becoming better and better at her craft. I would rate this album an 8 out of 10, slightly better than the last. If you take into consideration everything that goes into the album, such as like the beats, the production, the melodies, the music videos, etc., that definitely goes ahead and is what makes this overall album to me an 8 out of 10. However, I think my favorite album overall, if I had to choose out of the 3 projects that we went ahead and reviewed in this video here today, I would have to go with Think Later. The reason I will go with it is I just like the tracks on that one more than this particular album. However, I would go ahead and say that my favorite track overall for all of her albums, if I had to pick one singular one that I resonate the most with, would have to be the last song, Nostalgia, off this album. Latest tracks. Just keep watching. From F1 the movie, What I Want, a feature on Morgan Wallen's album, I'm the Problem, Tit for Tat. Final thoughts. We have officially gotten to the end of the video, everyone. For this particular portion, I am really just gonna go ahead and read off the script, just because if you think I'm bad with my intros, I'm even worse with my outros. But just a few final thoughts before I go ahead and close this out. First and foremost, I really hope that you guys really did go ahead and enjoy this video. If you did, please like, subscribe to the channel for more content like this, the usual, and share it with everyone who you may want to go ahead and have them learn a little bit more about Tate McCrae, whether that be a family member, one of your close friends, anybody that you really may know that you feel like, you know what, I feel like it's dope. I would like for these people to go ahead and know who Tate McCrae is. Go ahead and share this video to those individuals there. Now, for all of the Tate stands out there, because I have to go ahead and address you guys, once again, please don't come after me if I said anything you didn't like about y'all girl, or you didn't agree with any of my given talking points or my summaries of any of the tracks on there. Once again, I wasn't gonna deep dive into all of the tracks there, or like get down to the nitty gritty as to like what every single line meant and things like that, because we will be here forever. But please do not come after me. If you feel like there is something though that I did miss, or if you feel like there's something that I got completely wrong and you would like to correct me, by all means, that's what the comment section is there for. Please go ahead and let me know whatever you feel like, hey, you missed this. Please go ahead and address this next time, or just if there's just something that I overall just missed that you also want to add on to have everybody else know, then once again, that's what the comment section is there for. Now, to my beautiful lady, my girlfriend, this video is dedicated obviously not just to Tate McCrae and to her fans, but obviously to you as well, my love. I know how big of a fan you are, and you have definitely inspired me to take the leap of faith and start this channel overall. That's what one of the biggest inspiration came from in order to go ahead and start this channel with Tate McCrae. So thank you so very much, baby. I love you very much. Lastly, this goes out to Tate herself. If she were to ever actually watch this, I'm so sorry that I'm just reading off my screen at a certain points. It's just a lot. But I pray that I did right by you. And I must say that your parents must be very proud of you as well. You are definitely a very talented young lady, and you are going to be a lot bigger than you already are, because definitely by the time I'm making this video, you're already blowing up as it is, but I could definitely see you going even more above and beyond than what you're doing right now. Best of wishes and prayers coming from my side to you and your family. With that being said, everyone, I hope you enjoyed this video. Remember, it's a lot easier to hate than it is to love, so I dare you to go ahead and take the harder route and choose love every single time. To God be the glory, now and always, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.